Okay. I'll give everyone a minute here to join. All right. So right now on the chart, I do have Kava on the chart right now. And as you can see, I am currently short on Kava. I just entered the short just now. And the reason I did so was because there's a previous daily level which price has been reacting on. So if I go to the daily, you'll see this was a daily level that I marked out around December 16th. You know, price broke above it, back tested it as support, moved up, came down, went right through it. That was when Bitcoin had that pretty massive sell-off, but it did manage to close above. The next day came down, tapped it again before breaking through, and now it is forming kind of a resistance. So do I think we're just going to come back down? I'm not sure. No one really knows exactly how the market works, but sometimes after tapping the value area low, price does like to go up and touch the value area high. So right now I am kind of taking a aggressive short. It's not really the best place I would like to take a short. Realistically, I would rather take shorts at the highs of the range, you know, like kind of like what happened here. You know, this was pretty much a swing failure pattern. Price came down, swept the highs, took liquidity, and then moved all the way down. So that's typically the best time to take a short. This isn't really the best place to take a short, but the only reason I am taking a short here is for two reasons, actually three reasons, right? So if we zoom in, there is a daily level here, which price is clearly rejecting off of. We also have the point of control, which is a very important level. Price has been rejected and it can't close. It's been a few hours. Got rejected here, closed below, came up again, tried to push above, tapped the daily, came back down, and managed to close the hourly below. So I took that as an entry trigger, targeting the weekly open at the bottom here. I did set a couple take profits along the way, just in case if we do get some sort of reversal after finding support. At least I can take and lock in profits here, move my stop to entry so that this way if this does happen, that would be a risk-free trade. And I've already taken profits, so the market could go ahead and do whatever it wants to do, right? So another reason why I did take this trade is because if you go ahead and look at Bitcoin, you're going to see Bitcoin is starting to look pretty weak, right? So you have this fixed range volume profile, which was pulled from the current range. It's below the point of control. It lost the yearly one more time, and it looks like it's moving a little bit lower. Looks like it's targeting the monthly level here, right? So it came up, took the liquidity of the high. There's a range high too as well, and it says range there because of this, right? So we have this level right above the last bull run's point of control, which is exactly where Bitcoin swept those highs, pulled some liquidity, and is starting to move down. So after doing that, this is looking a little bit more bearish until we come back down into these levels here. I would think that price is most likely going to push down to this level. If we lose this low, this value area low, then I would not be surprised to then see a move into this range, right? It's a very important range. We're range bound in here since December 4th of last year. And if we do get a move down from here, and we get accepted back into this range, I would expect price to come back down here, sweep these lows, come up, most likely either continue up, right, or touch this point of control or the value area high one more time before testing the lows, testing this liquidity here. There's a lot of liquidity underneath this low here and this low, which was never taken. So I would suggest that I would think that price would come down and try to take those lows again before trying to move up, right? So ton of liquidity building up here. Once some of these levels start to get lost, it could be a chain reaction. A lot of stops will get stopped out there, and we can see that just creating a chain reaction, causing price to move a little bit lower. Yeah, so that's why I took that. You know, Bitcoin is looking a little bit weak. ETH is also looking a little bit weak after a very strong impulse higher, right? So we had this nice move up into the major point of control from the previous bull run highs, as you can see, right? Point of control and golden pocket area. So this is a very, very important level. If this level gets flipped, then I would think that price is going to run all the way to 3,300 for ETH. But for right now, if we do get some sort of reaction, which it looks like it wants to do, right? If we go into the 12-hour, I mean, the daily did close above the point of control, which is pretty bullish, and it's staying above for right now. But if this level does get lost, which it is fighting with right now, then I would expect price to at least come down and retest this high. And then, you know, worst case scenario, then probably this value area high before continuing up a little bit higher. You know, with a lot of this ETF news out there, I would think that we still will remain pretty bullish until we get clarity on the ETF. You know, you can also map out a couple, because this is also a range, right? So if we go ahead and pull our fixed range tool, you can see value area low, point of control, value area high. If this value area low gets lost, it's going to be looking pretty bearish. You could trade this range if you want to, but I don't really see the point. I think at these levels, you're better off looking for a short entry. Let's see. So yeah, I would think that it's better off looking for a short entry on ETH right now. Thanks for Jitto. Yeah, no problem. That thing did go crazy, as I suspected it would after the change in market structure. But yeah, just to finish this up, I think ETH is kind of still looking a little bullish, you know, higher high, higher high, lower low technically, but this is also a lower high, so it can, I don't know, it still looks a little weak just because we have lower highs. Price didn't come up and retake this high or this high. So I would expect for at least for it to come down and sweep these lows before moving a little bit higher. I would like to see price move down even lower. Well, what's going on here? I would like to see price move down a little bit lower, tap this level here before continuing. It would be really nice if price came and tapped the value area high before continuing a little bit higher, but that's really the reason why I'm in a Kava short, right? Because we have ETH kind of seems like it's at a very high resistance level right now, key resistance level. Not seems, it is at a key resistance level, right? We have Bitcoin also at a key resistance level. Looks like it's been rejected. Looks like it wants to continue a little bit lower to these levels, 43,000. And with that being said, it just led me into the Kava trade right now, where, as you can see, Got my stop right above this high. If I get wicked out, it is what it is. I'm only risking 1%. Even though you do see 2.48%, I did manage my position size accordingly. So if I do get stopped out, I'm only losing 1% of my account. And if this does play out, I could gain about 8%. So, you know, it's 3-to-1 RR. So we'll see how this plays out. Yeah, we'll see. So let's see here. Is there any other coins you'd like to see me chart? Gonna stay in here just for a little bit. Might be a pretty quick stream today, but yeah. Magic also getting rejected off the daily. Don't really like this trend line too much, but it did break out, so could get a little continuation here. It's kind of a strange breakout though, so I wouldn't be surprised to see price come back into this range, which would be about 10% to a key level. Pith, I had my eyes on Pith as well. I think this thing has finally found a bottom here, and this looks like it's going to possibly do the same thing that GTO did. Right, so made a bottom and it's just starting to impulse higher and higher and higher. As you can see, GTO from the lows up about 33%, pretty big move. So I would expect the same thing with Pith. I believe it's an Oracle, which has been gaining a lot of traction lately in the crypto world. It is on the Solana network or blockchain, which is also pretty bullish since Solana has been going crazy. Let's see something here. Yeah, so golden pocket right above the daily. Didn't sweep the high, so it might continue for one more push. I would think Pith is going to do something like this. Might even consolidate here a little bit, test that, come down. Kind of something like that. I can see Pith doing one more push. It's above the point of control. It has like an unfinished high here. There's going to be liquidity here up for grabs. So along at the, let's see here, 28 cents level, targeting golden pocket. It's about 7% up, so that could be a nice little scalp long. I might actually set an alert on that level really quick, just in case. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at it a little bit later, but it's pretty much at the level already, to be honest. It's pretty much there, so 0.5 retracement. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad area to consider long, but then, you know, if you're gonna long up here, unless you're pretty aggressive, you might want to put your stop all the way down here. If you want to enter a tight long, you can place your stop right below these levels, maybe right below the maybe right below here, right below the anchored VWAP, right below the golden pocket and this pivot right here. And then you would be targeting, it's not the best risk reward, but either target the daily, it's like a 1-to-1, or the golden pocket. Or if you think it's going to come up and test this trend line, which it might, then you're talking about a 16% increase in price. I don't know how you say your names at Oguz. What's going on, man? Thank you for joining again. I appreciate it. One day we will have more than one person in here. But until then, we keep on charting. Let's see here. Yeah, so that's my idea with Pith. I think it's going to come down, come back up. Don't forget to hit that like button. Like and subscribe. Let's mess around with that YouTube algorithm. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. That's how you support the channel. And yeah, so Pith, I think that's pretty much it with it right now. There's really not much else to chart with this coin. It's still fairly new. It's a couple key areas that are mapped out. As you can see, there's a ton of volume at this level too as well. It's almost like a point of control. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I'd like to see with Pith. Like I said, I set an alert. I don't really want to enter this long unless it comes a little bit lower. I would actually rather it come down a little bit, do something like this, take out the liquidity here, tap the golden pocket, and continue to rise. So that's really where I would like to enter a long if it reclaims this level afterwards. All right. Yeah, DYDX was kind of interesting too. Let's see. Even if no one's here, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Try to do this every day from here on out. I really do need to create a Telegram group or Discord. I had a Discord, but my Discord, I got a new phone number, kind of got locked out, so I got to figure that all out. But I do need to create a Telegram at least. But yeah, this is what I was thinking about with DYDX. I think this is a very interesting SR flip, right? Price officially broke out. This is resistance right here, right? So resistance, flipped resistance, now support, and it tested this dynamic support trend line right here. So with that being said, I would actually expect this coin to start to run. I think this is going to have a very nice move, I think, to be honest. I almost took the long on it. What's going on here? I almost took the long on it. I really might consider entering a long, to be honest. It flipped resistance into support. The next resistance is really from where price is, 5% away. And then this is basically just like a zone. So, I mean, if you really want to, over here was like the top, and this up here, as you can see, this little, almost like an order block, and then there's your support resistance zone, and it's right above support. So once that happens, what's usually the next step is for price to target higher, right? Might get a little fake out, come down, but eventually will most likely do something like this before moving a little bit higher. Yeah, I'll try to get a Telegram set up. I think that's the move. I'll try to get it done this weekend. But yeah, I think keep your eye out on DYDX. I think this is going to be a project that moves. It does move pretty aggressively when it decides to. And you can even see here it came down, tapped this level. This just shows you how important this level is. Because even if I go ahead, pull it across, you'll see resistance, flipped it back to support. Resistance here, support, blasted. After it flipped it as support, tapped it again. It respected the same area as support, moved up one more time. So every time it hit this as support, as you can see, 30%, 63%, and where are we now? We're here. Where's it gonna go? Back to this level here? That's 30%, 37%. And that's the high from, that's targeting this high here. So yeah, that is pretty much another range. I mean, this is a pretty big range, but whenever it touches this level, it seems to react quite well. So a long here would not be a bad idea, on your paper trading account, not financial advice, obviously. But yeah, a long here would not be a bad idea on your paper trading account. because then it looks like, yeah, you do have some upside potential here. You just have to see what Bitcoin does, because it does look a little bearish right now, which could play out in your favor. So if Bitcoin dumps just a little bit, it might push this down into the sweet spot around here. And then this is where a nice long opportunity can get set up. I'm not sure if I set an alert at this level, but I think I will, just in case. All right, take it easy. Good night. Drop a coin that you'd like me to chart out in the comments below, and I'll definitely chart it out tomorrow night. Let's see here. Let's see what Bitcoin's up to right now. I don't mind just watching it. I could even pull ETH up here too as well. So let's see what Kappa's doing. Did not stop me out, still alive. Let's have ETH and Bitcoin both up. Just watch them really quick. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, so let's see what these two do here. This could play out quite interestingly. Let's see. I think Bitcoin wants to tackle this monthly one more time. And while it's doing that, let's see what other coins I can chart on this side. Let's see, ENS. I was looking at ENS. It's pretty much right back at that level. Yeah, that was a good short opportunity for whoever took it. Entered the trade from here, weekly to the previous daily. If this level fails, you can look to the monthly below. EOS is looking quite bearish. Major trend line broken. It's basically back testing it. If I draw this correctly, like so. Yep, as you can see, it touched it perfectly. So 1, 2, 3, failed, back tested it, failed, back tested it again. So EOS could be an interesting short setup. For sure. That's just like a typical pattern right there. Breakthrough support, back test the diagonal line as resistance, and continue to move lower. And let's see what other levels are below us here. Let me see the monthly. Nothing there. Do you have a weekly level down here? Daily level up here, there's a lot of confluence. Another daily right above here. This was a daily, flipped it. There's another daily down here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so like I was saying, EOS does look like it's at an interesting spot for a short entry. Just keeps making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. It's still right below. You just tapped this dynamic resistance or trend line as resistance. Failed it. And it has a lot of room down to the next major support, right? I mean, you can obviously draw your levels. Seems like right around here. It's kind of a level to watch out for if you do enter that short. Maybe put a take profit right around here. You know, obviously there is a mini level here too as well, because that was resistance. That's just one to keep an eye on. It is very small, so I wouldn't really stress it too much, but it is a level because it can gain support here and move higher, sweeping this high. Right, something like this. High, sweep that high, and then start to really come down, right? So if you do enter a short, which I wouldn't recommend, definitely take profit or be wary of here. Maybe if you take a short, move your stop to entry the moment you see the move down. So if you do get stopped out, doesn't matter. And then you wait for a better entry right up here. Or you just wait for this entry to begin with. All right, get that swing failure pattern, retest, enter here, aim for lower. That's what I'll do with EOS. Let's see what else we have here. ETC. Not really doing much. Only really would consider re-entering along here, or if we fail this level, look for the short at around $28. Nothing too crazy. Let's just go through these really quick. Yeah, so this is playing out. I didn't get the entry I wanted, so just let it be. But that was a nice entry for whoever took that. Pretty much the same setup here. I was actually looking at a short because I was waiting for this move up higher, and it's looking kind of better because, as you can see, what we have here is, I think it just hit the 786. 786 was tapped. Let me delete this. Point of control is very close of the new day. It is above the VWAP, but as I was saying, it's still right above this pretty big descending trend line. So if I go ahead and zoom out, you can see, right? So pretty big trend line here, and it tried to break above but then closed back below, and now we're right back at that level. So if this level fails after kind of hitting the value area high of this range, I would actually expect a very nice move down for Gala, at least to this point of control. If this is lost, if this level here is lost, a nice little 5% scalp short, could be a day trade, is definitely in play. I only drew this as like extra confirmation of the weakening trend, and as of right now it is holding. So if this level breaks decisively and stays below, maybe wait for the 30-minute close. No, because it still stayed above. Yeah, so maybe wait for the 1 hour close below this and also below this level here. Well, something like that. Okay. Yeah, so I would actually whoops. I'd rather wait for price to go there, put the stop loss above the value area high, but that's only if we get a move down and a 1 hour close below this low right here. because this trend line would have broken, this resistance, this support would have turned into resistance, and then we can expect, oh my god, okay, then we can expect price to probably continue down, at least try to sweep these lows right here, because there's going to be a little bit of liquidity below these lows, and it kind of works out perfect, because if that liquidity is tapped, what's right below it? Point of control, and that's where you can expect a quick little bounce back up. Maybe just test this level one more time before finding the value area low below. And then obviously if that fails, then you're just going to go all the way down here. But this little trade could end up turning into a 13% trade, short trade, if it plays out. All right, so let's keep on going here. Goldfinch. GMX. Yeah, so this was another one where I was interested in the short just because below the monthly level. I don't really like this, to be honest. These wicks are kind of playing out, but at the same time, it's just strange. But it is playing out. No. A GNS, same thing. Trendline broke. Tested it here as resistance. Resistance went right up into the golden pocket here. Failed it, and now it's right back below again. So are we going to see something like this on GNS? To the downside, seems very possible. It is looking still kind of bullish, right? Higher highs, higher lows, higher high. Where's that higher low going to come into play? Maybe somewhere around here, maybe even here, a deeper retracement. And as you can see, I marked this level down here because that's where I would like to long. I would like to see price come down into this level, grab some liquidity, and show some sign of strength and enter a long position right there. So with GNS, that's what I'm looking at. Let's see what else we have here. H bar. Yeah, H bar is just hanging out. Got rejected above this previous high. That would have been a beautiful swing failure pattern. Short entry. Clearly at support still though, right? There's a little support. I argue is probably right around here. Yeah, I mean there's liquidity here, so this realistically is like the next best area to look for a long. Right now it's kind of in no man's land, so I wouldn't really try to attempt any trade really. It did flip this resistance into support, so you can keep your eye on that. All right, so if you look here, here's another level here. Zoom in, you'll see how nicely it's reacting. Look at that. Resistance, flip to support, and it looks like it wants to continue higher. So when you look at it this way, then you start to say to yourself, okay, a little bit more bullish than bearish because it is holding this support level. And that means you can then look to target higher, right? You could then look to target 17% higher, which would not be a bad trade, right? Your stop loss can then be below this low right here. Target higher. So 2.5% for 18% return, not bad at all. Let's see something here. Yeah, just not bad at all, not bad at all. If Bitcoin gets some strength, alts get some strength, this would be a nice long entry. If you do get stopped out, You can then look to trade in the opposite direction on this retest right there, right? So as long as price does backtest that area as resistance, then you can look at that as a short entry. Stop loss, I mean, you could put it above here if it doesn't break that high. Yeah, it's 6% away, but then you just manage your position size and you still get a 2-to-1 RR. Still could get 15% on your adjusted position size. So yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I mean, that's where I'll feel more safe putting the stop loss. A little bit wider is never too bad. This is a very interesting area to enter along though, but there needs to be a change in market structure, because if you look at it, lower low, lower high, higher low, a lower high still, then a lower low, taking the liquidity out of these two. And let's just see what happens here. You have the VWAP right above this high, might start to come down. Actually, no, this is the value area high right above this high here. If it doesn't get through this, then yeah, you can probably look for lower prices. And like I said, it all comes down to what Bitcoin wants to do, because Bitcoin is still looking more bearish than bullish right now. It looks like it wants to go for that value area low and monthly level. As you can see, the 30-minute, if we zoom in, just can't close above the yearly, right? Like, it just can't do it. So it's been struggling for about an hour. So let's just see if price continues a little bit lower. This is a very interesting level right now for Bitcoin. Very, very interesting level. Okay, so let's see what we have next. ICP, I did get a little scalp short off this earlier, shorted it from this level to this target down here. Little scalp trade, and it looks like it's gonna keep going lower, lower high, lower low, lower high. Might break through at this moment. Yeah. Not bad, not bad. IMX, yeah, I did, it's rejected off the golden pocket right there. I think that was actually a pretty good entry. I was just about to enter that short, but I didn't take it. Still not too late, but I'd rather get into the short a little bit higher. Let's see something here. Yeah, this is no real structure until you get to about 189. And that's the weekly levels. Tapped weekly up there. Let's see the daily. There's a daily down here. Yeah, actually delete this. This is obvious resistance. But that's the daily right there. Also another level here. Yeah, so these, I mean, yeah, this is a little bit more significant. Can even have a nice little swing failure at this level. I'd rather, let's see, the low here is 2356. I think this is lower. Yeah, so right there will be a nice swing failure setup. But yeah, as of right now, it's just like a short entry position is the best way to go about IMX. And look at that. It looks like it's just getting ready to fully dump. Fully dump right here. ICP is getting ready to fully dump. At least come and test this level right here. That's exactly what it's going to do. Well, I can't say that's exactly what it's going to do, but, you know, 2% down seems plausible. Okay. Definitely seems plausible. And there's another level right below it as well, right? This is just if you want to do some swing failure pattern trades. You know, so thinking something like this will happen. Maybe it takes this liquidity. Or maybe the same thing happens on the lower level here. But I think a short entry right now for ICP is better than a long one for sure. It's that golden pocket getting rejected. There might even be a daily resistance level up here too as well. No, well, yeah, pretty much right there. So if I go ahead and draw this daily level, this daily close, you will see, look at that. Look where it stopped. You cannot make this up. I think the 30 was actually nicer. See, failed to go above, failed to go above. Look, closed right below it, closed right below it, closed right below it. Tried to stay above, hit the golden pocket, came down, closed right below it, closed right below it. You just cannot stay above that daily level after rejecting the golden pocket. So yeah, I think we're gonna go down and see a nice little 2% short scalp here. I'm not in this trade, but you know, it's just an interesting level to watch. And then I wouldn't really become bullish unless, you know, the trend is then broken. So you can go ahead and draw your trend line and see if price then begins to do something like this. Once that breaks, that's when I'll get bullish again. Once that trend line breaks, because to be honest, this trend line can potentially take you all the way down here. Right, so this can actually end up playing out all the way down to there. And if it hits this level, it's a decent level to enter a long, but let's just see something here. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. Yeah, not a bad level. Resistance, support, pivot right there actually. So this could be a possible swing failure level right here into the weekly. So that's actually a very nice setup. The lows 1 through 4. Yeah, so that's too close. So if we get a move that low, then a swing failure trade setup would be pretty interesting. And I wonder too as well, if you go ahead and pull that, no, I don't even like that, to be honest. It would make more sense to pull it from here. But I don't like that either. I mean, the 886 might line up with it. No, I don't really like it. It seems forced. But this is an interesting area for me. SFP into the weekly. Okay, next, let's see what we got here. GTO, this thing went ballistic. Absolutely ballistic. As you can see, what happens when a trend line breaks out. A nice move can happen afterwards. 27% there. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna be pretty much done with charting these for now. Leave a comment below, hit the like button, like and subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna try to do this every single day, and if you leave a comment below on what you want to see charted out, I'm gonna do it. Right? I don't really have too many followers, so if you leave a comment, I'm definitely gonna see it, and I'm gonna chart it. It's really just that simple. Follow me on X as well. I'm also on TradingView, X. So I did say short trade setup. Where was price? 0.5109 for 1 inch. Let's just see where that is right now. Let's just see. Yeah, so price even came down even lower. It came down to 0.4943. So if you saw my post, you would have gotten a little scalp short right there. Did I put anything else? I am still on a Kava short, by the way. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, so I post stuff on my X account a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining. I'm going to end this stream here. And leave a comment below with the coin that you want me to chart tomorrow. Also, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, follow me on X. And I'll see you all tomorrow. All right, thank you.